By the way, number 18, and it's been a while since the last one, and from now on, I just plan on saving these for the end of each month, where I'm just going to bitch about everything and anything that pisses me off on a regular basis, and is continuously not changing, because there's not enough dissenting voices. So yeah, gotta make the by the ways monthly thing as this YouTube quest continues on, which is just kind of a joke by this point. I mean, this is my 50th fucking video, and it's a little disappointing when you look at the history of the videos. You know, even for my underachieving expectations, which I usually just embrace and mock. So I'll just ask people watching, I mean, what could be done in hopes of trying to instill this sense of urgency that many of you watching, I'm sure, will agree exists right now. And I think something big has to be done, and done fast. And I don't want to be the person who has to do it, but nobody else is really doing anything conversation-wise on this site. So yeah, any suggestions are welcome. You know, nothing too gimmicky or flashy. I mean, I'll whip out a highly edited, entertaining video every now and then if that's what it takes. But that's just probably going to insult a lot of your intelligence. No, I did one entertaining video months ago, and I initially said, okay, we'll just post it anyway. And then I watched it again recently, and I can actually feel myself insulting my own intelligence as I'm watching it. It was just a bit of a surreal experience. But yeah, I mean, I hate having to be provocative through this contrivance method bullshit. But yeah, I mean, what are some innovative ways to get the average YouTuber to quit viewing this internet thing as just a place to come so you can have milk fly out your nose? And to make them see it as, you know, fixed tube or intelligence no longer restricted by arbitrary geographical static tube that I've always seen it as. Because the people here, you know, there's these total clowns on one end, and then there's these Ivy League types on the other, and very few middle grounders. So most people are either too unable to really grasp the subject matter you bring up, or they're just unwilling. You know, they're the opposite extreme, where they just keep asking, well, what are your qualifications to speak on this issue? And you tell them, well, no, I mean, it's just this simple problem with, for instance, the rich, where the top 5% own 20 times more than the bottom 95% combined. And that's kind of offensive, seeing as how they aren't 20 times more productive than even a tiny fraction of the bottom 95%, let alone all of us. And then they'll say, well, you're just jumping on the anti-rich bandwagon, and you really should read some Ayn Rand, her famous How We, the Elite, Keep Screwing You, the Peasants, Out of Your Money. I highly recommend it. And if you don't read that and all these other archaic books that have nothing to do with the current circumstance, I'm not going to take you seriously. Well, no. I'm sure those are nice, nursery rhyme text and all that, but none of that has anything to do with the current 1929-ish disproportions between the classes. So, oh, no, I'm not talking to you until you familiarize yourself with all this drivel. I mean, fuck. I mean, how do you get these people out of their preconceived bullshitisms in order for any real progress to take place already? I mean, it's just fucking hell. If you look around, the most motivated people seem to be truthers who have their agendas all out of whack. Because, yeah, I mean, cheering on Alex Jones as he spends 20 minutes in front of a government building yelling into his megaphone about how, no, I stand here before the creator of the universe to expose your globalist agenda of reducing the world's population, is not going to accomplish anything. Not on the large scale. Not on any scale. And, yeah, I mean, just sure as hell seems like a bunch of wasted effort. Could be much more productive if dedicated to something like breaking the two-party system or something practical, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I mean, the one time people in this camp really got on his ass when he went nuts with his Obama Joker parody, but even then they critique his approach, not the substance of what he was saying. You know, and I was talking to the Cuban Highlander about some of this the other day, and he also puts up with plenty of bullshit from extremist anti-truthers as well, which is, again, just another crusade that people are just so motivated to jump on board to. You know, the let's humiliate these people by repeatedly pointing out how wrong we think they are. I mean, just look at that nicotine guy's last video. He's excited because he found a new conspiracy theorist which he and his legions now get to play with. And the same thing with that sperm chick. It's just so annoying when every now and then everyone keeps paying attention to what some flavor of the week nutball keeps saying. Why? Why does it matter? Why do you care about her conviction? She's just one person. She's not in any position to change the world with her philosophy, so she's not your enemy, practically. So quit looking for easy fucking targets and recognize the true fucking enemy already. Or at least the number one enemy. The goddamn people who haven't earned anything and have everything. And you're not going to see them making YouTube videos about how they're screwing you over. So next time somebody's ganging up on some simpleton, as tempting as it may be for you to join in, just click away and go to an economics video or something. And comment on how no one's talking about the fact that productive work is not really valued anymore. And how if it were, the separation between the classes sure as hell wouldn't look as drastic as they do right now. Because that's something else none of these highly acclaimed experts, economy experts, are talking about. The ones I've listened to, at least. They're just talking a bunch of distracting nonsense. Just like all this eugenics crap, this transhumanism crap. Another topic that gets tons of attention. The idea that we need to enhance our intelligence through selective breeding. Damn it, we don't suffer from a lack of intelligence. We suffer from the fact that we can't apply our intelligence in any sort of rational manner because we keep clinging to primitive superstitions and selfishness. And every indication points to the fact that the more intelligence we breed into the new generation, the more dangerous that generation will become as a result. Imagine these stone slackers becoming smart enough to acquire the ability to build themselves a nice little missile. And throw in the phantasmagoricals and the relativists and their no truth type notions will only be reinforced the more their elaborate psychologies and their feelings are given to play with. So the idea that we need more intelligence thing is just a distraction. That's all it comes down to. That's what people keep falling for. Just distractions. So fuck this bullshit already. And see, people are just going to find this offensive. Raising my voice. But if I were to do a little song and dance while I raise my voice and pointing out how fucked up everyone is, like the professional pessimists do who build a career out of it, then I'd just be touted as a hero. But yeah, all these wild goose chases really are just preventing the, missions of, organizations of smart people going on missions. So yeah. Let's see. Human Highlander did his what the fuck and gave his final thought on our debate. Really by taking it back to square one with his, I know spiritual people who aren't blowing up buildings, ergo, spiritual people, aren't dangerous. And oddly, he even said he watched my video twice, my last video. So I don't know where the disconnect is, but a disconnect sure as hell exists. But he did write in the sidebar that he wasn't really arguing with my video by pointing that out, so I guess I am over-arguing this again, but it's just one of those things. I remember 10 years ago when video games started getting pretty violent, and there were all these mothers against video games type groups that kept pointing to the damn games as the sole perpetrator of violence in real life. Because, kids would smash chairs over each other's heads, or speed race, or some other common childlike behavior that existed way before these games did. So to me, putting all religious blame solely on organized religion is just identical to the way these parents dealt with their children's violent tendencies. I don't know, just something to consider. So, what else? I guess I should also clarify publicly, just in case anyone still thinks I was still nagging Gary over being reckless with his usage of racial slurs last Saturday in Stickam. So I dock up in Stickam, and Gary's in full Arnold character mode. And he used a racial slur in a completely non-harmful way, which I believe is possible to do, seeing as how context is everything, and a word alone doesn't really have any power at all. So I jump in with this lead-in to the point I ultimately wanted to make, which I guess with all the, Gary is a racist type bullshit he's had to put up with in the past, I really should have just started out letting him know what my point was, which was to accuse him of being too PC half the time, and not in any way racist the other half of the time. But by the time I figured out how he took it, I was kicked, so it was too late. I already left him a comment explaining all this, but I just wanted to make it public, since I can't stand the idea of having anyone think of me as this neurotic PC stereotype who worries about how people use simple words in harmless context. Because those kind of people exist, and they are pretty aggravating. So yeah, I guess I'm out of time again. I didn't start timing myself once more. Damn it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just pissed off, as always. And I'll reserve this kind of whining and bitching for end of the month only. So you can know when to skip it if you don't want to listen to it. Any video I put out at the end of the month with the letters BW, BTW, feel free to skip, because it's just going to be me bitching about the same old shit.